For anybody that is listening, that was my entire high school athletic career.
Just went crazy.
A little bitter, but true.
I am starting the stream right now, so
yeah.
Now people can hear.
Yeah, that's how it is, though, man. It's just the Cleveland Browns. I'm just like, well, if we lose them again, I'm like, can we please just get rid of that and make just better parking? just make better parking. We don't need them. Okay.
Hilarious.
Or let's embrace another sport that we actually have a chance to win. All right, because it's just, come on.
Mr. Anderson.
Donovan.
He's
Barbarian.
You get double.
He's
concerned.
Like last week there was a what do they call it? A
Hurricane.
Yeah,
no, where the Browns got a moral victory, as they say.
What?
Right.
And people were kind of like, well, I saw some good things out there, and I think that there's good things.
They say the same shit every
There's good
fucking
things
year.
to come from this team, and then this week happened, and nobody thinks anything good
Fart
anymore.
noises. That's all they're gonna fucking get.
Might as well just set the whole team on fire.
That's called what last week was. You call that first week of football, and then everybody does that every year. It doesn't matter who, what, where, when, why, or how. It's just, oh well, you know what? Yeah, they lost, but it's the first game, and blah blah blah. This week was the reality.
Yeah, this was you're playing in the big leagues, and they just have, they'll just, oh my god,
We don't have a quarterback.
we don't have anything.
We don't
Okay,
have wide
we have-
receivers.
We do have kind of a defense when they get interested in actually, there's a couple guys that want to, show what they got, so that they're out there. I mean, the block pass was pretty fucking good. But when our quarterback's like throwing interceptions to the fucking other team, and it just our guys can't. I haven't watched football in a while. And I know they've changed some of the rules, but is it like two-hand touch now when they go to tackle guys? That's what it looked like. Our guys were trying to I'm just going to grab his jersey. It's like, dude, you're not wearing gloves. You're not Spider-Man. He's going to rip right out of you. That's what happened.
We've historically been a bad tackling team.
The thing you do in football, tackle
Five
people.
of our guys get past their defenders and just mob around their fucking quarterback, who just ducks around them and lazily sends a pass for a guy from fucking 30 yards. It's just so fucking awful. And I'm sitting there at Pacini's watching. Every time our guys fuck up, I can't help it. You know me.
Right. No,
I know there's people all around me wearing Browns hats and jerseys in all years. Everybody gets quiet. And you just hear my voice go, because I'm such an asshole.
Right. Well, we knew that, but still.
Yeah, I'll take the beating to have it coming, but I mean, come on.
Yeah. No, it's just that's just the way it is. It's Cleveland Browns football.
Oh, they're the worst.
They're not. I mean, I don't know what. Nobody knows what exactly it is. But here's a little bit of something. You got a new offensive line, so you got like 2 or 3 new offensive linemen.
We've been doing that for fucking 20 years, man.
Right.
That excuse is getting a little old.
But no, this is what I'm saying. Now we have good linemen. They just haven't played together because this is the first year together. Jesus. And you can't count preseason. Preseason doesn't mean anything. Practice doesn't practice. You know what I mean? That's not.
I'm not hearing anything new out of you. What else? Come on. Every year, new team. Every year, they can't count preseason. Every year, they're just warming up. That'll be the next one. They're just warming up. They're getting in there. They hit their stretch. They'll get a win. They'll get a win, and everybody will be like, see? You're like, no.
Here's one that you've heard before. This next game, out of the park. That'll be crazy. This next game.
You're lying to yourself. Why are you doing this?
I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just telling you that's what people say.
No, because our quarterback doesn't know who to throw the ball to and gets tackled.
He doesn't know where he is.
And our other quarterback just throws the ball to the other team. So, I don't...
Maybe colorblind.
And we don't have any kind of running game.
It's to the point where I go traveling everywhere, and guys like Cleveland, what I think of the Cleveland Browns, they don't even make fun of you anymore.
Yeah, they don't, because it's like...
feels awful about it, you know?
Right. It's like you have a retarded child.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you're the one with the retarded child. I'll secretly make fun of you.
Probably don't want to make fun of you because this just wouldn't be right. You guys have you guys have tried so hard. And you're like, shut the fuck up, man. We know we suck. Don't even pretend we give a shit anymore. Yeah. I wish they'd just fucking go to Tennessee. Fine, go away.
Because of the Cleveland Browns, that's why I play fantasy football. Because at least I have a chance to win. You know, like a chance. I'm not saying I do. Because
at least there'll be something competitive about it. I mean, our guys are just the fucking worst.
Well, I do have a chance to win in this one league tonight. So, yeah, me.
I play fantasy football. I play the same group of people every year. Last year I came in third. Not bad. Yeah. This year, though, they added 20 people with 2 quarterback slots, and there's not enough quarterbacks to go around. So whoever chairs my game is terrible.
I know when you invite me the one time, and I'm like, okay, but
I didn't.
Like, you're coming. Yeah, you got me into it, but I was like, you needed the numbers, and I'm like, all right, and I'm like, I don't know really anything about this. Like, it doesn't matter. But you're not going to get anybody good because you came in late. I'm like, what do you mean I came in late? You're like, you know what I mean? Never mind. Yeah. I'm like, all right, and you would ask me every so often, so how's your fantasy football team looking? I'm like, I don't know. I don't go looking at that shit, man.
He's like, ask somebody who's paying attention.
Yeah. Well, you were this. I think you were the same way. Like, I don't pay attention anymore. They started to lose and I gave up. I'm like, yeah.
Sometimes they do.
Welcome, brother.
I welcome you.
No interest in if I fucking win this or not.
Welcome to Fantasy Island.
It's ridiculous. Madness.
But the Indians beat the American League record for hitting the ball more than the other team. So our millionaires team did better than other millionaires teams did.
Woo.
And our millionaires football team did worse than other millionaires football teams did.
Yeah, I have a hard time really just getting behind people that make millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars. I appreciate the athleticism. I can't do it. I can't. I went to that concert and I couldn't even stand there for 3 fucking hours. My feet just wanted to give out on me. Just standing. I couldn't fucking do it. So I completely, I mean, then again, I'm 48. Most of those fuckers are not. But I mean, I'm just like, I appreciate the athleticism, but
they're only here for a paycheck, man. I mean, they're not even from the area.
More than I do, and you can't even fucking come on.
They all get on their private planes and leave after the game's over and shit.
Yeah, they don't talk to each other probably either.
No.
Some poor fucker has to go. The one guy who actually kind of pretends he likes Cleveland, so he's got to do all the interviews. Everybody else is just sort of like, so how do you feel about living in Cleveland? I don't live here.
Yeah.
I'm going home now. Fucking gets in his hot air balloon like Willy Wonka.
That's what Andre Rison did when the Browns were leaving for Baltimore. We had Andre Rison. They were like, how do you feel about playing at home? He's like, this isn't our home. Our home is Baltimore. It was just like, oh.
That's awesome. I didn't see that. That's great.
And that was before they moved.
Yeah.
And that was just like, everybody was just like, oh, you know what?
Yeah, because they weren't even that bad, and fucking Cleveland was like, look, if you don't win, they're just going to stick their finger in your eye until you do. And they're just going to, on the radio, in the newspapers, and it's just everybody just armchair fucking coaching, like, just basically being dicks. And, I don't blame them for fucking leaving the first time. They got tired of it. They went to Baltimore, within a year or two, they won the goddamn Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You had the fucking dream team that went over there. They could have done it here, but I don't blame the guy for leaving. It's like, no, you guys are dicks.
They wouldn't have done it here, though.
No, because we're dicks.
Because the mental game would have been different, and it just wouldn't have happened. They had something to prove when they were there. They wouldn't have done that here.
Nah.
They would have been like, oh, this is Cleveland. I don't have to work as hard. Because nobody here is going to care either way.
Well, they've won it twice now, haven't they?
Well, I'm just saying. Yeah, because they want to win. But when you're in Cleveland,
nobody wants to win. They want to leave.
Yeah.
The sad state of it is they want to leave. They don't want to stay.
Apparently, after watching today's football game, nobody wants to win the game.
No. They want to please take us somewhere else. Please. Please. If I have to drive around these assholes another day, please.
Indians want to win. Indians want it. They want this. They want the World Series.
They get a lot of love from Cleveland. That's why.
They definitely want to win the World Series.
Somebody. They got it. Yeah. They're not messing around.
But they'll take them from us next.
The Cavs are going to be a bunch of whiny bitches because it's contract year. So.
Wow.
You know,
the whole those are divas.
Yeah, that's gonna.
They're gonna get what they want, as is right and proper
from another team.
Yeah,
straight to hell. Oh, right.
4 minutes to go. 4 minutes.
Jesus. Why am I awake?
Think about what you did this week. Gonna ask you.
No,
think about what you did.
Nothing changes.
Come on.
We just did it.
God damn it! Yeah, that was it. Not gonna repeat myself.
You went somewhere. You did something. You
Yeah,
went to a kid function.
It wasn't a kid function. It was my daughter's birthday.
There you go. Daughter's birthday. Your other daughter got a bunch of honey from a bunch of wild ass bees and shit.
Well, she has beehives, so
it's weird. Where'd you get that from?
You order it and they send it to you.
Nobody on our side of the family and nobody on her side of the family.
They're like sea monkeys, except that they can actually come out and sting the fuck out of you, you know?
Pretty sure Samantha's the mailman's kid, because nobody else has any interest in bees in this family.
She has my nose. No, not like you pussy.
Listen to you. She has my nose. I know it's my daughter, dude.
Yeah, not for me.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, she clearly is my kid, you know. But,
she's Chinese and shit. Hello, honorable father.
Yeah, she just takes her skin off.
You call me number one daughter.
Yeah.
I'm number one. Number one daughter. Come here.
Just hear that gong whenever she comes there.
She could be Chinese. She could be any other. Could have been any other fucking nationality. You guys picked that.
Well, I didn't do it. Kevin picked it. I just went with it.
What do you want me to call it? So say, you know, what's wrong with Chinese? What do you got? Something against Chinese people?
Yeah, what's the matter with you?
There was that one Chinese guy, Lo Ping, that used to hang out at Lori's house where you were out trucking. So anything's possible.
Yeah, I heard about all kinds of stories about people that would come over. Larry especially.
Larry, oh my god.
Oh yeah, he was trying.
Larry, that's hilarious.
Not very successfully, but you know,
there would just be bump on the log, Bob over there. Bob, the like.
Yeah, she doesn't really like me bringing up that little relationship too much. She'll just like shut up. Like what?
Bob is like a barnacle on a boat.
Well, you never know.
Just stuck there, doesn't leave. Brian's got to be like, Bob, are you gonna leave now? Huh?
Yeah, a couple of times I had to throw him the fuck out. The guy wouldn't get out of the house, man. I'm like, enough already. Come on, you gotta go.
He was a weird dude. He was working at Walmart in North Olmsted for a while.
Jesus
Christ. I would see him in there, and I knew it was him because you see Bob, you're like, there's Bob right there, because he's the same dude as always. And I never said anything at first, and then finally I was with Sophie the one day. I was like, I gotta say hi. He looked like all dejected and stuff. Like, ugh, I don't want to, but I'm just walking up like, hey Bob, what's going on? And he's just like, oh hey, and he's the exact same.
Yeah.
and he's like, you on Facebook? And I'm like, well yeah.
Oh no.
Who isn't on Facebook? He goes, all right, I'll look for you and send you a friend request. Yeah, I never did, so I was just like, that's cool.
Like, yeah, just because he's like that guy from, Superbad. He's like, so you guys have MySpace? Oh, Jesus.
I'm not going to come look for you. He was like, I'm moving in like a week or something. I was like, oh, all this time I saw you.
Where this time?
I could have been talking to you. I could have been, all this time, but now I come up to you finally when you're leaving. That's a sign.
Here we go.
So,
September 17th, 2017. You're listening to What's Happening in Cleveland. Yay! With your hosts, Kevin Baird.
Brian Baird.
And Don Anderson.
And Larry Mack.
I almost did it like last week. He showed up at the very last second again.
Thought you were going to throw up on yourself, but he said.
Well, I wanted to.
Larry just gets his computer going.
I'm
heats up enough.
I'm staring at the screen. That's why I did this, because I was like, "There's only 3 of us," and then I'm staring at the screen, and I go, and his picture popped up.
Yeah, Larry's like, much younger, fitter face pops into the screen.
That's pretty much how I look now.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Goals.
Essentially.
Everyone has to have goals. All right, so welcome to the show, everybody. We're all here. Yay! And let's start with Brian and how his week went of nothing, but...
Yeah, pretty much. Well, okay, real quick, just a lot of driving, same as usual. And then, well, not actually the same as usual. I told the story about getting stuck. I think I did it last week where I got stuck. Anyway.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I went to go... Oh, yeah, I went to one of my stores this week, and it was under the alley. I actually posted on Facebook the picture of the actual alley before, and they don't tell us anything. We just show up and like, yeah, by the way, you know, you're looking around, and the entire alley is sort of tore up, you know, a bunch of cones and barrels. I'm like, all right, I'm supposed to deliver to you. How the fuck that's going to happen? And I called them up to find out, and they're like, just drive through it. I'm like, okay, there's at least a 6 to 8 inch dip from the top of the concrete that hasn't been ripped up to the sand that's underneath, and I don't think my truck will survive. I mean, it probably could, but I'm not taking a, you know, take a chance. When I was coming the other side, it's not that deep, and he was right. So I just drove over all this shit, you know, bunch of cones and barrels and stuff, and tried to just smash it all up. I had a brand new trailer of our.
Bunch of guys working there, like, hey, what the fuck?
You know, if there had been them, I would have been very, very polite about it and say, what do you want me to do? Like, well, I guess you're not coming through. And I've been like, that's not the answer. You know, so, I guess I'm just gonna have to drive through your shit while you guys chase me with shovels. I mean, you know. So, yeah. Then what was it? Thursday, I went to go see this old punk band, GBH, which I think stands for Godless Bloody Heathens, but I could be wrong. And they had the band called the Casualties with their new singer, because there was some controversy about the old singer, which I'm not too sure about. And if you want to know anything about the Casualties, just look them up.
Wait, what? So the GBH
was the headliner. The Casualties opened up in Rabid Reason, which may be a local band.
No,
I'm not really sure.
Is the GBH singer also singing for the Casualties, or was that?
No. No. Thanks for paying attention, though. Appreciate you hanging out. And
well, it didn't make sense what you were saying. You're like, this is their old singer.
That's all right. It's all right. I understand that I'm not going to always make sense. I'm old. I'm rambling. Anyway, I went to see a concert on Thursday. It was great. My feet started to hurt, though, and I left almost near the end. I mean, almost at the end.
That's
you know, and of course they have these bars. As much as I love going to these dive bars, they're dive bars for a reason. They're shitty parts of the city. Even though Coventry, the part of Coventry here in Cleveland, is not technically shitty. It's sort of like the posh parts of Ohio City, where it's a nice little college sort of area, but it's really surrounded by places that college kids have no business being in unless they're sucking dick for crack. I mean, you know, so for money to buy crack. I mean, it's just, or meth or whatever. You know, there's some badass parts of that. Some woman came up to my car asking if I had any money, and I didn't say nothing. I just looked at her all baleful and just shook my head no. My windows all rolled down too. You know, she could pull a knife out and stab me. You guys have to be like, Brian died, and it doesn't surprise anybody.
Should have been like, do you have any money? And you should have been like, yeah, and then just kept driving.
Well, the thing is, no, I didn't. You know, I don't take money with me pretty much anywhere. Just like, no, I don't have anything. But I didn't want to talk. I don't want to engage in conversation. I want to be a ghost. You know, am I real or am I just?
Hey, can I get a ride?
No.
Remember that, Kevin? On 117?
Yeah.
Right? Sure you can. Sure you can. You just peeled out. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's all right. I know. Kevin's got a lot of fucking funny stories.
They're even funnier when I'm involved.
Yeah, I've heard. And then let's see. Today's my daughter's birthday. She turned 15, and so that's my youngest. Shit. So we went to Panini's, and because she wanted to go there because she likes the food, and I don't mind going there. It's fun. My girlfriend and I have fun there. So
get her a beer.
No, nobody drank actually. In fact, when I was at the concert, I only had one beer because I didn't want to have to pee a lot because you know
at a time.
It's one of those bathrooms where men and women go into it regardless. The men's room. If a guy tried walking in the women's bathroom, there would probably be a hanging. You know, because they're just not putting up with that kind of shit. Unless you're a good-looking guy, then I'm sure it'd be no problem at all. But I am not one of them.
It's like that time you got kicked out of Sabotage by going to the bathroom.
Yeah. That's where I went to pee, and there was a fight, and it was funny. It was kind of funny, kind of like I don't really care, but I did kind of care because I did pay money. And, I didn't put up too much of a fight because you know it was by that point I didn't care anymore.
And you lived right down the street, didn't you?
Yeah, I just walked home. My wife at the time, she was just like.
That was
a fast concert, and I'm like, no, it's not what happened.
Sabotage or get laid? I guess I'll go get laid.
Yeah. No, I was married, dude. This isn't the same. Anyway, so yeah, so you know, we watched the Browns play. If you'd listened to us before we started recording, you would hear all the love we have for the Cleveland Browns because it was. I don't watch our football. I don't actually watch any football. mostly because we don't have cable, so it's not so much a choice. It's just, that would mean I would have to go out into like a place where people gather, and I don't like to do that. You know, so I was just watching the Cleveland Browns play, and you know, it just reaffirms my belief that Cleveland Browns fans are complete fucking idiots. But keep rooting for a team that hasn't won shit since we got them back. Nice new stadium taking up space where we could have nice parking. You know, an ice skating arena for children, like, you know, they have got there in New York or some shit. No, we've got a stadium where the team goes to die every fucking other week.
Could feature high school football games there. So.
Oh my God! It's like Larry posted some shit about football. I'm like, look, I was just watching a special about English Premier Soccer or football, whatever, and I'm not sure, Donnie, you can correct me because I do know that you know more about that shit than I do. But is it not a fact? And I don't know if it's the major leagues. I think it might be where if you don't keep up, like if you lose way too much, they bump you back. Your entire team is bumped down. Yeah, they bump you down to the minors.
You get relegated.
You get regular, whatever you just said, and
relegated.
And I think that's not a bad idea. That definitely would keep teams more competitive because, you know, then some other minor league team might be able to move into your slot then. So that would keep you I mean, granted, a lot of the shit that I was seeing had to do more with the owners just being complete fuckers. But I'm like going, yeah, but say what you want. You've got to put some of that on the fucking players because they're getting bumped down. I mean, granted, the town hates it. But, you know, it's sort of their responsibility to, like, win on occasion.
Right.
But, I'm thinking, take the... I was talking to my girlfriend about that while we were at this place, and she's like, so why we can watch them get slaughtered by St. Ed's, you know? Which is a Catholic school team, for those of you not from Cleveland, that they're actually got quite a decent fucking football team. But it would not be much of a stretch of an imagination for high school students from that school to just annihilate the Cleveland Browns, because I don't know what they fed those kids when I was going to high school, because it was our school versus them, and those guys came out like fucking titans, man. I'm like, oh my God.
We always owned them.
Are they fucking from high school? I mean, this isn't us versus some small tech college, is it? Because those guys were giants, you know. I think the final score of us, it was like North said, was 6. Just saying it's like 36 or something. We got smoked. But it didn't surprise anybody. It was like, well, it is St. Ed's, you know.
Well, they are, you know, ranked nationally.
Oh, so. Jesus, man. Yeah, so watching the Browns just fumble, it's like a ball would get into one of the Cleveland Browns' hands, and the guy literally reacted like, oh, like he's surprised he actually had it for a second, and then he would just get you know, surrounded by, you know, the Baltimore Ravens and just, you know, this flapping of wings and a shriek, and then he would just disappear. You know, it's fumbles, just idiocy, and there's your hero just sitting there laughing his full head off, watching the Cleveland Browns just, you know, get trampled to death by an opposing team. And so I think having them get regulated to maybe the minors for a season, number one, it would bring humility that this city so badly needs.
Okay, well, first of all, in their defense, I got to take up from my boys.
Okay,
we were just in the playoffs.
Only just. It probably because 3 other teams fucking burned
the
up
Browns.
an airplane. Yeah.
When?
2002.
Yeah, just. That word just. That's talking 15 years
That was
ago.
before my daughter was born.
Yeah.
Like just in 2002, we were in the playoffs.
Oh yeah. Hey, remember when we won that championship?
Oh man, Christ.
Yeah, and don't forget, we were world champs just a couple of years back in '64.
Oh. Ryan Adams
before the advent of the internet. Before cable television, ladies and gentlemen, was when the last time Cleveland.
Before Brian.
Before I was born, which is before we landed on the fucking moon.
1172.
Okay, anyway, Anderson, how was your week?
Yeah.
Man, let me tell you about my week. The Browns played. No, I'm just kidding. You know what? Surprisingly tiring. It hasn't been tiring as it used to be because I've gotten lazy and I don't do anything.
You decided to die, like I have. You just give up, just waiting for the moment.
Yeah, it's just like,
you're like, is it now? Oh my God, I'm going to go to heaven. And
what can I do that doesn't spend any money and I won't be ultimately bored, you know? But this past week has been pretty busy because I've been put to work by my parents. I've moved 4 beds in one day, 4 different beds into different rooms throughout this whole house. Gone to storage, picked up another one, brought it back here.
Why do you have 4 beds? Is that for like you and
because
the kid and
my parents have a queen size bed, had a queen size bed in their room. We had 2 little twin beds for me and Sophie. So let me pause the game. There we go. So what my parents wanted were the 2 twin beds because my dad pulls the blankets, or when they get up to go to the bathroom, somebody wakes up, or, you know what I mean, stuff like that. So
everybody deals with that shit. Yep.
Exactly. So they were like, you know what? We could have those 2 twin beds back, and I was like, oh, okay. So I had to go. So I went into their room, took their bed down, put it into Sophie's room, put it up there, took down the 2 twin beds, put them into their room, set them up, drove down to the storage unit, picked up my other bed, loaded it on my Honda Accord, drove it back down here.
On the roof.
Well, the frame stuff, at least, not the mattress. That would have just been. It would have looked stupid.
Wait, you put the bed on top of your Honda? Would you bungee it on there?
Not the mattress.
He just drew with his hand. He just held it up there.
Yeah. I just had my hand out there. Oh,
Crazy
it was the worst one. I took a corner to the left and everything to the right. I was pulled out of the car.
Scraping as his roof's being fucking caved in by the fucking mattress.
It worked out.
It sounded like an Atom scenario here. Like it was
the fucking bed stain
wrapped in mattresses or something.
That's why I went back and I was in the middle of clarifying it because I was like, that didn't sound good. I put like the frame stuff, the bed frame stuff on top of the car. I had like a foam pad. I put that on top of the car, put the frame stuff, like this thing, this head, the footrest or whatever, the headboard over here. I put that thing, laid it on the car. The mattress, I did not do because I called Holiday. I called Clint and I said, hey, meet me at the storage unit because it's in between our houses. Like my place is right around the corner from the storage unit. His place is on the other side.
Do you like a bunch of Conan music playing in the background when he picks up the phone?
He wanted.
He drives up something, just a bunch of heroic shit from like Superman.
Well, that's the thing is he's like, well, I'll meet you there and I'll help you. But my back's really killing me, and I don't want to throw it out again because he's been having back problems. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, dude, I don't need help. I need your Jeep. I need because he's got like one of these Jeep Patriots. Well, no, just on top. It's a queen size.
Oh my God.
If I put it on my car, that's what I was saying. It's like if I put it on my car would look like a mattress taco because it would just come down the sides. And I wouldn't be able to see anywhere. It'd be flopping down in front of the windshield. I'd be like hitting the windshield wipers trying to get it out of the way. And so I called him and I was like, can you meet me up here? And he's like, yeah, I'll help you. And so we go there. I go there and I wait for him in the parking lot. He pulls up, he shuts his engine off. And I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, well, I was going to get in your car. I said, why would you get in my car? I'm like, I got a queen size mattress I got to pick up. And he goes, well, do you think we should put it on my Jeep? And I said, well, yeah, because it's a Jeep and it's got a top. It's got a roof that's square.
That's literally the only reason I called you.
It has a rack on it, on the roof, which means it's made for carrying stuff, you know?
Small boxes and bicycle parts, but not...
So we pull in there, and he goes and opens the back door, and I go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm opening the back of the Jeep. And I go, why? And he goes, so we can fold it up and jam it in there. And I looked at him, and I go, dude, it's a queen-size bed.
Yeah,
and he goes, yeah, we could just fold it. And I go,
it's going to tear his roof off.
I'm like, it's a queen-size box spring. And he's like, yeah? You don't fold those. It's made of wood. That's what I'm trying to tell him. Like, it's sticks wood covered in fabric. It's very light. It's very simple. But you don't bend it. You're not jamming it into anywhere. Trust me. I've tried. I've tried to jam it many a time. And so he was just like, oh, then I guess we should put it on the roof, huh? And I'm just shaking my head like, why do I surround myself with these idiots?
You got nobody else?
Like, I don't. Brian lives too far away. I don't even know
people
where
that could actually help you like me because I have a truck. I live like...
Right.
It's a pilgrimage.
I know if I call Clint, he'll be like, yeah, okay, I'll help you. He'll tell me like, he'll be like, yeah, I'll help you. You'd be like, no. And I'd be like, can I borrow your truck? Here's the keys. And he'd just be like, go ahead. I don't care. As long as I don't have to do it. You?
Me? Oh, no.
Yeah, you'd be like, just go. As long as I don't have to do it. I don't care.
There'd be none of that shit going on.
You wouldn't help at all.
I would definitely do it if I was convinced that it was the proper thing to do, man. I'm not giving you the keys to the car. I already know how you drive, so no.
What? What is that supposed to mean?
Just stop it. Just stop it now. You know what I mean. You know why.
Yeah, I know. Okay, now that I think about it, yeah, okay, now I remember.
Yeah, just stop it.
He's like, you're not doing that in my car.
No.
I wouldn't do that. I'm not stupid. I don't do that in other people's cars.
You'd fucking get confused, yell fucking fine, and the next thing I know, I'd be visiting you in the hospital, all grim.
You get in your cars.
With some guy you've never seen before, with a suit, who says, okay, this is my guy from the insurance company. Slowly explain what the fuck you did to my car. And if it comes across that I don't like what you said, he's also going to make sure the nurses can't get in to save you. You know, that little buzzer you have to press in case the nurse is in here? You notice I just cut that, don't you? Okay. What'd you do to my truck?
Like, what the hell, man?
Yeah. It's just... Where'd you get this... Where's this mattress from, again? This bed that you picked up, where's it from?
I had it in my storage unit. I've had it for years.
Oh, God.
But it was in the storage unit because...
Fucking bed, this mattress is tied to the roof of a car that's been slathered in jerk-off stains and food and
that's Clint's
crumbs.
That's not my car.
It doesn't matter. Everybody's going to see that your shame is going down the road and it's going to pull right in front of your parents' house.
We did it at night when it was dark. Nobody could see.
There's a camera everywhere you go.
God,
I guarantee
there's no right answer with you.
And I guarantee you that these cameras have like black light capability. Like, there's a mattress. Let's see what's on it. And it probably looks like a fucking Picasso. I know this because that's what mine looks like. So.
Jackson Pollock.
What did you use to tie that? Was it bungee cord? Or rope?
Just a rope. Just had a rope.
Had a bunch of wire. Bunch of fucking like cables.
Wrapped it around, wrapped it through his thing.
It seems I was trying to explain to him.
Video game cords.
Practicing their slip knots and shit.
I know. I kind of figured out that Clint doesn't know anything about moving furniture because
or tying knots.
Or well, either way, because it's like we threw the stuff up. We threw the stuff on top of the car, and I pulled it. I opened his driver's side door. You know, so you could put the rope through and still get in and out of the car, right? Because some people are dumb and they're like, they shut all their doors and then they send the rope through and then they wrap the car up and then they go, oh, I can't get in the car. I put a rope around.
They can probably fit through the windows and they probably look at each other and laugh. Oh, ha ha.
If they're lucky. Yeah. But that's what I did. And then he's on
We're long past that.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't open the door. And I was like, don't worry about it. That's the passenger side. Nobody's on the passenger side. So the driver's side is open. You can get in it. And he goes, oh, wait a minute. You left the door open. You put the rope through it. I'm like, yes, I did, so that you could get into the door. And he's like, but what about the door? I'm like, you can shut the door.
You close the door and all the rope just snaps.
He's like, it's not going to cut the rope? And I go, well, unless your car is made out of razor blades, no. It shouldn't be cutting any rope. It should be quite all right. So we should be fine. You know, just don't slam it.
You're tightening it down and you lose a finger.
Yeah. Like, what the hell, man? I just touched your car and I cut myself. Yeah, I shave myself on this every day.
You're sitting there breaking his balls. He closes the door and all you hear is dang, whack.
Snap.
Snap you right in the face. Like
mattress goes flying off. Oh, my God.
So, needless to say, we got the mattress in. He came in the house. My dad was here. So I came in the one door and I said, hey, Dad, Clint's here. So he could prepare himself.
Yeah.
I got the other door. I grabbed the mattress. We grabbed the mattress in the box spring. We bring it in. We put it down. And as we're walking back out, I said, hey, are you leaving? And he goes, yeah. And I said, you better go say hi to my dad. He's like, what? And I go say hi to my dad, because Kevin knows. Go say hi to my dad, because if you don't, then it's just you like insulted him.
It'll escalate.
You know, like, who is that? Why'd they come in my house and not say anything to me? Because they're afraid of you, Dad. You have no legs, but they're afraid of you.
Doesn't matter.
You just say hi, Mr. Anderson, and then you don't understand anything he says for about 10 minutes.
That's all, and that's all he had to do. He just walked in. He goes, hey, Mr. Anderson, I'm Clint. And my dad's like, hey, how's it going? And he goes, good, good. How you doing? He goes, good. And the Indians game was on or whatever. And he's like, Clint's like, oh, so the Indians winning? Okay, well, I'll talk to you later. And he goes, it was nice. It was nice meeting you. And my dad goes, yeah, it was nice seeing you again, too.
You got to take it. You got to take it.
I go, there you go, Clint. That's what you get, man. So there's that. That happened. So that made me really tired. And then that was it, really. Sophie's got volleyball. She's going to a volleyball camp on Saturdays. And so I didn't have to pick her up on Friday, which was a weird thing. And I went to Adams last night, as usual, on a Saturday night, sat on his porch, and Tom Packard showed up.
Wow. So, holy cow.
I kind of knew he was coming because I put a message on Facebook. Mole was like, who's going out tonight? Or what's everybody doing tonight? And I said, I'm going to Adams. And Mole's like, well, maybe I'll go there. And it's like, whatever, dude. And then Packard chimed in. He was like,
oh, bitter.
Like, yeah,
bitter at even the concept of Mole coming out. Whatever, dude.
Because it's not true. Because I know he's not going to.
Yeah, he won't.
He's not. So, but Packard chimed in. He's like, what time are you going to be over there? So I put the time down and stuff. So Adam was late. Of course, I told Packard 10:30. Adam didn't get home until like almost 11. I'm driving past Adam's house. I see his car in the driveway. As I pass his house, Adam calls me. I pick up the phone. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, nothing, man. I just got home. I was like, oh, sweet. I'm down the corner. He goes, oh, are you sure? And I said, well, yeah, I'm sure. I'm in my car.
You start looking around like, I don't
know. I'm pretty sure I'm looking at what I'm looking at. You know, like, yeah, this is where we're at. And he says, oh, because a white PT Cruiser just pulled in. And I go, for real? And he goes, yeah. And I go, oh, that's probably Packard. And he like immediately was just like, no. Like, why would Packard be coming over?
Yeah. Come on. What are you talking about? Like, it's like a visit from the Pope.
It's like, it's not Packard. And I go, oh, no, it's Packard. And he's like, well, then why are they pulling out and leaving? And I said, because I'm not there.
Yeah.
So then I said, Adam, I'll be over in a minute. I texted Packard. I see him drive. I'm pulling out of the one place that I see him coming at me. I see the white PT Cruiser. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure Packard's gay enough to drive a PT Cruiser. So I think that's him. And I put my hand up to kind of wave. But then I said, what if it was just some dude? What if it's just some dude turning around? You know what I mean? Some dude just pulled into Adam's money. I just happened to be on the phone with him. You know what I mean? So I put my hand down. And I'm looking. I was like, well, I'll just look as he passes by. And he drove past me so fast I couldn't tell who it was. So I texted him. I was like, he texted me. And he's like, so what's up? And I said, did you just pull into Adam's driveway and leave? And he goes, yeah. And I go, well, you tell me what's up. You better turn around. I'm here. I'm like, I just got here. And so he came by. And the three of us hung out until like 2 a.m. Sitting there talking about, we talked about old stuff like, what was your favorite adversary show? And how many songs did we originally do? What cover songs were this? All kinds of dumb stuff. They would Kevin, like Tom Packard, he's like, Schizophrenia is the first song. Remember we wrote that song at Schizophrenia, blah, 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 blah. And I go, I don't know. Kevin Baird wrote the lyrics. He's like, really? And I was like, yeah, I didn't write that shit.
Was he trying to recruit Adam to be the drummer in his band or something?
No, but that was the funniest part because he's sitting there and I go, so, hey, what's up with the band? He goes, we're looking for a drummer. And Adam goes, really? And he's like, yeah. And me and Pegger are both like, it's not you, Adam. You're not going to be. Relax yourself. And not like Adam was trying to be like, well, I could be your drummer, you know? But we were just like, don't even try to go there.
Yeah, and now that I'm sitting here talking to you, we're still looking for a drummer.
No tumbling with tumbleweed this week?
Not this past week. No, I had to work. And then I actually got out kind of early. And I was like, oh, well, maybe I can have time to get this done. And even then I was like, I just don't feel like it.
Right on. Larry, how was your week?
Freaking exhausting. Although, for the record, there's nothing wrong with driving a PT Cruiser. It does not make you in any way gay, because I used to have one.
Why don't you have one now?
Because I upgraded.
Because it was gay.
Because it was like 15 years old.
Nothing gayer than a 15-year-old car.
It is true.
And my school used to own St. Ed's. But this week I've just been working my ass off. So pretty much the big excitement this week was I got a haircut. That was pretty exciting.
How long did that take?
Sexy lady.
Well, it takes a while because I like to get pampered.
Right.
I gotta get like the full scalp massage shampoo thing and the hot towel on the neck and
hot towel treatment.
Oh, it's pretty much what keeps me going. So it's like why I don't murder people. And then my daughter wanted to go visit her mom and her sister down in Columbus, so I had to drive her down there. Yeah. So like Friday, my friend Mindy was out of town this weekend, so I was taking care of her pets. So I had to take my daughter to school, go let the varmints out, feed all the pets, go to work. So, and then after work, come home, pick her up, drive her down to Columbus. From Columbus, go back to Minnie's house to feed all the pets again, let the dog out, and then come home. So like Friday, I left the house at like 7 in the morning and got home at like 11 at night. So that Saturday I could wake up and go spend 7 hours in the office trying to get caught up on bullshit. And then come home and work till 4 in the morning and then repeat the same process today. Gave myself a break to watch the Browns. Not that that's ever much of a break because it's not like I get to relax and enjoy life at that point either. It's like, hey, I'm gonna take a break from just the mental grind of this job and spend 3 hours just getting sucker punched in the nads.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I got nothing new this week. Oh, I got to go to court again, but we're just doing paperwork, so. As far as I know, I'm not going to prison anytime soon.
Cool.
But nothing new.
All right. Let's see. First, glasses are expensive. I went and got, and at Lens Crafters especially. Don't go to Lens Crafters. That's my new adage.
Pro tip from your friends at VGN.
Pro tip: don't do it because I think I spent about $650 on a pair of glasses. So it's
Do you have some insane friggin' prescription, or did you need like the cool LED gold-plated hipster rims or something?
Well, I got expensive frames, but they were only like $200 in comparison, and my insurance saved me $250, and so apparently it just all comes down to the lenses that you get there. I mean, I did need bifocals, so that I guess adds to the price, and then. You get the scratch resistance and all that other bullshit, and when you add it all up, yep, it was like $650 for one pair of glasses. So don't go to Lens Crafters. Don't do it. And I don't even have them yet. I just gave them money, and I'll get them next week, I guess, at some point, maybe. And yeah, so that
you didn't know the bill was that high until after you got the glasses.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I've never done it before, but I mean, I don't know. It's not like they give you a lot of choices. They're like, do you want to buy this or not have this? And it's like, I guess I have to have that. I don't know what else I can do.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Why not? Do you want the reinforced laser etched crystal glass lenses, or these ones we made out of crepe paper?
I'll just go to Walmart and buy them myself. It'll just be easier.
There's a choice.
Yeah, it's... So, and then yesterday, Cease came over in the evening, and we went ahead and tried to figure out why my hot tub is leaking. So we had already,
first world problems.
Looked at it from there's like a cubby hole that you can kind of open up, and you can see almost nothing because there's two tubs right next to each other. There's the guest room tub. And then there's the hot tub. And there's just like this little area between that's covered with pipes and boards and stuff. And the cubby hole's basically there if you want to turn the spigot to shut the water off or something. It's not really there to do any sort of maintenance. So we look at that, and it doesn't look wet or anything. And I run the water, and I'm running it through the drain because we think the drain's leaking. And we're not really hearing it, so we say, okay, we're going to go through the where the water stains are in the kitchen. So we're going to cut through the ceiling. So Cease cuts through it with a box cutter. Apparently, you can cut through your ceiling with a box cutter. I don't know these things. I have like an electric saw there, hammers and shit.
Yeah. You have like the crazy sawzall, bandsaws.
Right.
Because like none of us could cut through a roof with a
without
box
falling
cutter.
through it.
But yeah, I'm surprised he didn't just punch through it.
Yeah, I mean, he just brought over like a stud finder and a fucking box cutter and
a big razor.
Cut out a piece of my ceiling, and it's just full of garbage because the guy that put the stuff in there didn't like vacuum up anything, so there's just shit all over my kitchen. But I had that, drop cloth. So anyway, so we didn't see any water coming out. So we went ahead and started to fill the tub because I was getting suspicious that it was the jets that were leaking.
Jets.
So, because it's a jacuzzi tub. So I started to fill it, and Cease happened to be looking through that little crack upstairs, and sure enough, you could see exactly where it was leaking. And basically, there's the motor that, runs the jets, and then there's a water outlet that comes right out, and there's like this, just like a white pipe piece and a plastic twist, and that was loose. The problem is that we couldn't reach it. It was too far back, and there's no way to get to it. There's just no way to get to it. So Cease was like, "Well, you're probably going to have to you're going to either have to, destroy this tile right here to get to it, or you're going to have to go through the ceiling." And basically the ceiling is drywall, right, that they paint. And then above that, you have like an 1.5 or 2 inches of floorboard. Plus some 2x4s that they nailed on there to help support the hot tub. So
just in case.
You'd have to cut through that in order to get to where it is, and there's wiring and all kinds of shit. So there was no way down. It was like 10:30 at night by the time he got to this point. There's no way he's going to do that shit. So I'm like, all right, well, how much is this going to end up costing me? He's like, maybe about $1,000.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm like, oh boy. So anyway, this morning, what I did was I got a camera tripod and I extended one of the legs, so the leg was really long. And then, since this plastic twist piece was loose, I just was able to hit it with this tripod leg, and I could tighten it. So I was sitting there, it looked ridiculous me working on it, but I could tighten it, and I got it really tight now, and it's not leaking anymore. So I got to run a couple more tests on it, though, because it isn't leaking. Like, nothing's coming out from the bottom of it. But when I filled the bathtub up, it still seemed like there was a little bit of wetness around the motor. And so I'm kind of like, I'm not sure if that's like, sometimes there's like plumber's glue or something that looks like water. So I gotta I'm letting it dry now, and I'm gonna check it later. Otherwise, yeah, I'm gonna have to have somebody come and tear it out. It's gonna be expensive and fucking stupid. But my biggest thing isn't so much like the money, which is, I don't want to spend the money. But my biggest problem is finding a reliable fucking contractor, because I can't find any. Every time I call anybody to do anything, I still have that fucking shed that nobody wants to tear down. Nobody wants to come out here. Nobody wants to work on anything. Nobody wants my money. And I'm easygoing, man. I'm like probably the easiest client these people will ever have. They'll be like, look, I gotta take out like a quarter of your house. And I'd probably be like, all right, whatever you gotta do.
Yeah.
I'm mellow. But I'm not like these other people that are up in their shit, oh my God, he's been here for over 30 minutes. Are you done yet? I'm not that guy. I'm more or less like, go ahead. But no, I can't get anybody to ever respond or do anything.
You're all looking over the dude's shoulder. You're not using no bullshit 3/4 inch studs, are you?
Right. I have no idea anyway. I just want it done right. That's all I want, is I just want it done right. Like, I wanted to get a 220 volt thing put in my fucking garage, like an outlet. And I left a message for this guy, and this guy's like, yeah, that's something we do, but We're not scheduling that kind of work for a month yet. But let me know if you're interested. And I wrote him back. I said,
nobody
well,
wants to work. It's all it is. You're like, fuck.
And I said, you want me to call or should I? Because I was sending a message back and forth
no,
to
we'll
him on
call
Angie's
you.
list. Or should I wait for a month? I got no response. Guess he just was actually just trying to blow me off.
Obviously, that means
with his
wait for a month
later thing. Like, shit, I should have said 2 months or something. I mean, it's ridiculous. So that's my biggest problem, is just finding somebody reliable to do something. I don't know. Or, you could call one of these national chain places or something, but then you are going to pay, like, stupid money, And so, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
My daughter needs a job. She can be your handyman.
Yeah. She can do drywall, and she can fix my ceiling. That's probably all I'm going to do, though, is I'm probably just going to fix the ceiling and try and live with the moisture, because at some point it will get bad enough. But when you're in a house,
old.
Well, yeah. when you're in a house, at some point you should like remodel certain things. Otherwise, you have like tile that looks like it's from the '60s and all that. So, I mean, at some point I'll do that, but
you act like that's a bad thing.
I don't want to spend that kind of money. Well, maybe today it's kind of nouveau or something, but you go to those houses where you could see their kitchen cabinets, and they just look like they're from like the 1940s and shit.
the original cabinets, when the coal mining company put them up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, there's a certain point where you do want to do work, and maybe then I'll do. But I don't really want to do it now.
Made out of a.
No. Okay.
Got off Cylani.
Yeah, we lost Donnie again, I guess. All right, let's do our drinking game really quick. If you've never played before, basically we're going to read Metro News from Cleveland.com, and if it involves a shooting, you have to drink. If it happened on the east side of Cleveland, you have to drink. And if Jennifer Cha-Cha happens to announce the crime, you have to drink. Sometimes there's a hat trick. We'll see if there is one this week. This week we're going to start in Akron, Ohio. One person was shot, drink, early Sunday while sitting in a vehicle parked in a commuter parking lot south of the University of Akron campus, officials say. Anderson, you're just like you're kind of like a
you're like the mermaids that were on Aqua Teen Hunger Force. They would come out to the sirens. The sirens come out singing. I'm here to sing for you.
You're just like a high guitar string note every so often,
which is kind of cool. But
it just started happening. You were fine up until like a minute ago. The shooting happened about 2:30 a.m. at the university's Wheeler lot, parking lot 5, next to Booktell Field at the corner of Brown and Wheeler Streets. The University of Akron Public Safety Advisory states. A late model white Chevy Cobalt pulled into the lot, and its driver got out of the car. The driver approached another vehicle in the lot, pulled out a gun, and fired one shot, the advisory says. Shooting victim was taken to a nearby hospital with a non-life-threatening injury, the advisory states. The victim is not a University of Akron student. If you're going to get out of your car and shoot somebody like that, you better hope you killed them, because they're going to come for you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, probably anyway, unless you're a police officer. That also happens. Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland police officer was drunk when he crashed his personal car Monday along Interstate 71 near the Steelyard Commons, according to police. Sergeant Kenneth Allen III, 55, is charged with operating a vehicle while intoxicated, failure to control his car, and failing to wear a seatbelt. That's hilarious. Like, they gotta, the one cop's like,
the trifecta.
I'm gonna have to write you up for that seatbelt. Come on, man. I'm a police officer. Yeah, I know, but you didn't have it on.
Yeah, well, there's a camera staring right at us in the face. So
should have had on that seatbelt. He pleaded not guilty at an arraignment Friday in Cleveland Municipal Court and was scheduled for a pretrial hearing Tuesday. Really? Is the union going to get him off, too? Cleveland Police Patrolmen's Association President Steve Loomis did not immediately return a call seeking comment. 16-year police veteran officer became a sergeant in 2015. Allen was taken to Metro Health with minor injuries, police said. It's lucky they were minor. He might have been pronounced dead. Cleveland Police Sergeant Jennifer Cha-Cha said she was unsure if Allen had returned to work yet. Everybody drink. He will be placed on restricted duty when he returns, will have no contact with the public, and will not be able to drive a police car until his case is resolved, Cha-Cha said. Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland man was shot in the leg, drink,
Jesus Christ.
as he tried to run from robbers on the city's west side.
Crack.
The case remains under investigation, and police haven't announced any arrests. Shooting happened around 5:40 a.m. Wednesday outside a Detroit Road convenience store near West 88th Street, according to a Cleveland police report. The victim walked from his West 93rd Street home to buy a coffee from the shop. 3 men stood across the street and called to the man as he left the store. That's the thing that nobody wants to have happen.
Right.
No.
Just turn around, go back into the store, and
that won't save you. That won't save you at all.
Like, just
you're be dead as shit.
Hey, buddy! I got caught.
Damn it!
You got any money? What? No.
Yeah, do you have any money? I live on West 93rd in Detroit. What do you think? No, I got.
Yeah, get over here, boy.
The victim approached the group. One man asked the victim if he lived around the area or if he had any drugs before ordering to hand over all his money, the report says. The victim handed over... Why don't you not walk towards them? The victim handed over some of his cash and kept the rest. He turned and tried to run away, but heard a gunshot and felt a bullet strike the back of his leg. Jesus, man, that's crazy.
Isn't it?
Wait, so he walked over there, gave them his stuff, then decided to run away?
Gave him some of his money. He's like, here's a 20. I'm going to go.
There's a 20 and a cigarette. I'm out.
It was like, bam. It's weird, too, that gangbangers are getting up early, too, to fucking commit crimes. Or they were up all night. Just wait for somebody to come out of this convenience store and we'll rob them. Cleveland, Ohio. A man released from prison earlier this year in an armed robbery case
is going back.
Is now charged in a carjacking involving a 70-year-old woman at gunpoint outside the Lewis Stokes Cleveland VA Medical Center.
Oh.
Leonard Hare II, 31, is charged with aggravated robbery. He is not in police custody, and a warrant was issued Thursday for his arrest. Carjacking happened about 5:30 p.m. August 2nd outside the hospital on East Boulevard. I don't know why this is like we're hearing about this now. In the University Circle neighborhood. Yep, drink. Hare and another man walked up to the woman who was with her 65-year-old sister, according to police reports. Hare had a gun wrapped in a shirt. He pointed it at the woman and demanded the keys to her 2002 Mazda 626, according to police reports and court records. Why the 75-year-old woman had a Mazda 626, we're not sure. The woman's purse and her sister's car keys were inside the stolen car, police reports say. The 2 men sped off with 2 others in the car. Police have not, they all high-five each other after they robbed the 70-year-old woman. Police have not identified anyone else in the robbery. Hare was released from prison in January after serving a 6-year sentence for robbing a man at gunpoint outside a store on East 105th Street and Hathaway Avenue. Bonus drink. In that case, he followed a man as he walked out of a store, pointed a gun at him, and made him strip naked. Hare then stole the man's clothes and ran off. He later pleaded guilty to the robbery. How do you explain that shit to people? He stole my fucking clothes. Sure, he stole your clothes.
Why'd you have your clothes?
A Cleveland man faces felony charges after his girlfriend found him sexually assaulting her 12-year-old daughter and stabbed him several times at a West Side home, records say.
That's a relationship killer.
Troy Parks, 31, is charged with rape and gross sexual imposition in the incident that happened Tuesday on West 58th Street in the Stockyards neighborhood.
Yeah, I don't think a box of chocolates is going to cover that one. Like, sorry, honey, that was my bad.
I was drunk. I got confused.
I still love you, though, baby. You know you're the one.
The mother of the victim has not been charged with any crimes. The mother told police that she stabbed Parks 6 times after she found him naked on top of her daughter around 2:30 a.m., according to a Cleveland police report. The girl told investigators that Parks had also touched her in the past, records say. Police asked the judge to hold Parks on a high bond due to fears of retaliation against the victim and her family. Police also asked the judge to issue a no-contact order between Parks and the victim.
That always works.
Parks suffered 5 stab wounds to his chest and 1 in the back of his head, a police report says. Officers found lots of blood on scene when they went to investigate.
Well, contrary to what you see in the movies, it is hard work to stab somebody to death.
Dude, listen.
Like, short of hitting it in the heart, you got to wait for them to bleed out.
You got 5 stabs in the chest and 1 in the back of the head, and they don't die. But then you have these freak accidents where people get hit with a rubber band in the earlobe, and they're just like, "Oh, it caused a blood clot and killed me."
They're just shot.
You know, like, how does that even make sense?
When it's your time, man.
Parks was treated for the injuries at Metro Health, where he told detectives that his girlfriend may have attacked him because she thought her daughter had feelings for him.
Feelings?
Oh my God.
She's 12, dude.
She was jealous. She's trying to stab me because she was jealous.
Now hold on. I'm going to play devil's advocate. I have always felt that no, stop it for the love of God is a feeling.
Yeah. It's a positive feeling.
Those are the feelings women usually have for me. So I see where he's coming from.
Parks is in custody at the Cleveland City Jail, according to jail staff. He was convicted... According to jail staff, what do you just find somebody in the hallway?
The cafeteria guy's like, "Oh yeah, I've seen him." Yeah. He was down here for lunch earlier.
Walk in with a picture and like stop by the janitor. Is this guy being held here? Yeah. He's downstairs.
He was convicted of aggravated assault in a 2011 Cleveland police case and sentenced to 1 year of probation. Parks' other convictions for theft, felonious assault, failure to comply, and drug trafficking. Go record show. No more 3 strikes and you're out. Cleveland, Ohio. 4 former inmates in the Cuyahoga County Juvenile Detention Center filed a lawsuit claiming jail guards forced them into bloody and brutal brawls last summer as part of a long-standing tradition called Fight Night. The inmates, 3 of whom are now adults, say the guards organized the fights that pitted the teenagers against each other, all for the guards' amusement and entertainment. The lawsuit also says the guards conspired to cover up their behavior. You think?
Imagine. You guys try to hide it? Yeah.
Deshaun Dunlap says...
Oh, no.
What? No. I can't even read this name. Anyway, and a teenager filed suit in U.S. District Court in Cleveland this week. The suit names Cuyahoga County, the Cuyahoga County Juvenile Detention Center, guards Freddie Hodges, Joshua Zimmerman, and 9 more unnamed guards. The lawsuit claims the guards violated the teenagers' constitutional protections against cruel and unusual punishment and inflicted serious physical and emotional harm and distress. It also says that the officers committed civil conspiracy laws. I mean, couldn't you just, like, if you really didn't want to do it as a teenager, couldn't you just, like, not fight? Like, you just get in there and be like, hey, what's up, dude? Hey. They want us to fight each other. I know.
I think that you have to anyway. They start taping, like, why are you guys taping up books to me?
They put those shock collars on them and stuff. Fight!
Yep. You just sit here. There's some dude across me with filed teeth. The
teenagers who brought the lawsuit said they were forced to participate in the fights each Friday between July and September of 2016, the last of which was caught on surveillance video obtained by Cleveland.com. The video shows Hodges and Zimmerman letting teenagers out of their cells and into a room, then standing guard as the 2 fought inside the room. That's a little damning. That's a little having that video there. That's not going to be good for their careers, I think. The practice.
You got to have proof.
Practice was uncovered by an. It's harder though when they're like, I feared for my life. Oh, so you let them fight? Well, yeah. The practice was uncovered by an investigation into a September 16th, 2016 assault in the common area of one of the jail's pods that occurred during the fight nights. Hodges let the inmate out of the room about 7:30 p.m. The boy walked downstairs to a water fountain where he punched Jackson in the face and slammed him to the ground. The video shows. All right, anyway, I'm not going to keep reading this thing. It's crazy, though.
These kids nowadays.
Guards got nothing better to do. They're just like, hey, why don't we let these guys just beat each other up? We'll make bets on it. Cleveland, Ohio. A man was shot, and killed late Thursday during a memorial for a man who died at the same home in 2013.
For a memorial for a guy who shot and killed.
The shooting happened about 10:40 p.m. at a home on East 85th, just south of Superior Avenue, according to police. Someone fired about 7 shots at the memorial for a man who committed suicide in the driveway of the home in 2013, according to police reports and Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner records. Police found...
Like it took them 4 years to get everybody together for the memorial service?
That's its annual.
They like stick him in a meat locker, or how did that work?
Police found Devin Youngblood, 27, on his back in the middle of the street with gunshot wounds to his chest. 3 times in his hip and once in his right hand, according to police reports. He was taken to university hospitals where he died. Police have not made an arrest in the case. Youngblood's aunt, Diane Sturdivant, said her nephew worked with his stepfather painting houses. Well,
how's that germane to the story?
Like
when,
Germans
when
got nothing
when they were
to do
writing
with it.
that release, like how? At what point was the editor was like, you know what? We need like 7 more words around this.
We need to get some backstory on this guy.
Could you find out, like, I don't know where he worked?
Try not to go to the east side of Cleveland.
We need to make this guy seem human. Can you get some backstory on him?
Hanging out in any house really on East 85th and Superior probably isn't great for your health.
Yeah. Cleveland, Ohio. Police are investigating after a person died in a shooting, drink, on the city's east side. Drink. The unidentified male victim was shot in the chest on the 1300 block of East 85th, which is just... Oh, maybe this is the same thing. Well, drink anyway. That was the last one we have.
Well, F it.
That was our sad Cleveland news of the week. There's some pretty good police blotter things, though, to read, but some of that shit's ridiculous. Started watching Fear the Walking Dead again last week.
Oh, God, why?
On purpose?
Sorry for...
It's not good. It's not a good show. They did kill the father off at one point on the show, so that guy's dead. Now they have some Indian guy, or Native American, or First American, or whatever they want to call themselves.
They need to kill the fake Johnny Depp son.
Yeah.
Is that the ex-addict?
Yeah.
They need to kill everyone, I think.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp's son. That's fucking funny.
I didn't quite make it, or I think I did fight my way through the first season, and then I was just like,
the mom's just angry all the time. The daughter is depressed, like, all the time. And
then there's the whiny kid.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened to that kid.
Remember him? He's like, "Do I shoot her? Do I shoot him? Do I shoot him?" Like, yeah, you stupid idiot, shoot him.
The only person that's somewhat interesting is the old man who was part of, like, the, I don't know, the Colombian secret army or rebel group or something. Like they at least gave him an interesting angle. Like, everybody else's angle blows.
He started it all. It's his fault.
This is really not good.
They had everything under control, but he went to that school or whatever, that gymnasium, and let them all out.
It's just... There's hardly any zombies on that show, man. I mean, they're around, but they're almost, like, purposely, like, just making up an excuse to, like, have them there. Like, you need to go fight the zombies as punishment or something. And then, meanwhile, we'll all just hang out in here and try to...
cry and discuss our feelings.
I think they tried to, like, exchange gold coins or something for water last week from a Chinese woman inside, like a bargaining place. I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible. I keep watching it. I did watch that new, what's that guy's name? Seth, the guy that does Family Guy.
The Orville?
Seth MacFarlane.
Orville, which is like a kind of a ripoff of Star Trek, but in a funny way or something. It was okay.
It's Seth MacFarlane.
It's got
It's
that.
a Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, Seth MacFarlane. It's got that chick from Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She's pretty hot. Except she's got that fucking mole right in the middle of her eyes that I can't stand.
Yeah.
Get that
If
out
that
of
wasn't there,
What?
be all good. If that wasn't there,
Right.
it's so distracting.
Yes, it would be perfect if that wasn't there. But god damn, it is. And but that show is okay. I'm going to keep watching it. I know the new Marvel New Mutants show or whatever that is coming out soon too. I keep seeing
The
commercials
Inhumans
for it.
flopped.
But did you watch the premiere of that?
No.
No.
Well, they didn't have it out. They haven't
Oh, they haven't put it out
had it
yet?
out yet, have they?
I don't know.
They just did the IMAX. They released it in IMAX theaters.
It looks terrible. There's like a big dumb dog or something in it. Like that just
That's
made me,
Lockjaw.
Wait,
made
which
me
show?
Not the Inhumans.
Inhumans.
Oh,
It made me not want to watch it at all when I saw the big dumb dog.
That's Lockjaw, stupid.
I don't care if that's like I don't know who that is. It's a big dumb dog.
He's the big teleportation dog. That's the one that gets him from place to
Oh
place.
my god! It's just there for kids. It's there for the kids.
No, it's always been there. Lockjaw's always been there.
It was. Listen,
You just-
were the Inhumans a comic book?
They were not a comic book until later, probably. But otherwise,
So
I
what
hear
are
my
they?
voice echo.
What are they? Just like guests on other comics or something?
yeah, they're not mutants. They're Inhumans, and they live on the moon. They live on the dark side of the moon, and yeah, that's what they do, man.
See you on the dark side. Oh. Well, I
You know
still
what I
think
mean.
I don't know
It's-
why. I don't know why you're sticking up for it. It looks terrible.
coming up. We got the new Star Trek show.
Yeah, that. But
Discovery.
Is that? Have they
Nobody's-
decided if they're only going to play the one episode still, and then the rest of it's got to be on that horrible CBS All Access, or are they going to put all of the episodes?
That's the last I heard, and I'm really hoping not because I'm totally not doing the gay CBS download thing.
Right.
So I'm hoping, if nothing else, that even if that is the plan, all the Trek nerds will just that first show, the ratings will be through the roof, and then like when it hits CBS download dot friggin' bullshit or whatever, they'll realize, hey, 17 people checked out last week's episode.
Right.
Maybe we should rethink this.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that one,
Mm.
and I do kind of want to see the. I thought you were talking about was it The Gifted or whatever, the other
Right. That's
Marvel
what.
Mutant show.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The Gifted. Yeah, that's coming. I've only seen commercials for it.
They're also doing a new mutant show too.
Oh, are they really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why it's confusing.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, and we are now into the second season of The Last Ship, which was really good for one season.
Yeah, I started watching that.
Like this season.
Drop.
Yeah,
We're only on the second
haven't
season of
given
The
up-
Last Ship? Really?
Yeah.
I thought it's been on for way longer than 2 seasons.
Really? Well, this is the second story arc, and it's awful. That's true. It might have been one of those like half-season bullshit things
Oh
like
no,
they always did.
it's been on since 2014. There's 5 seasons.
Okay, if that's 3 seasons for real.
Okay, well I'm just telling you.
Fine. The new story arc blows. We spent 3 episodes with Chandler like trying to find himself and losing his way because of the ravages of war. I'm like, yeah, okay. That's Ravages of War is why I'm watching the show. I'm not watching the show so you can find yourself being a fisherman.
Yeah, I just, if any of I'm going to watch these, The Gifted or The New Mutants, but if any of these shows have any of those, like, New Mutants or The Gifted have a drug or addiction problem,
Oh, God.
I'm going to stop watching. That's
Yeah.
going to be my rule.
Yeah, a friend of mine tried to turn me on to some other show that I don't even remember the name of now, and it was like a Netflix show. But like the premise was, there's this group of like people scattered all over the world, but they can like sense each other's emotions and see what they're seeing, feel what they're feeling, stuff like that. I was like, okay, I'll check that out. It took me 3 episodes to realize every single one of the characters was gay or a transvestite or something, like had special needs. I'm like, really? like, I get that you want to be inclusive, but none of them can just be normal. There
He's
can't
watching
be
the
a
logo
single
channel.
person.
Didn't even know. He's like, how was I supposed to know this was all gay people? Logo there.
Oh, speaking of those weird off-brand cable networks, and I don't know that it's just them, but I noticed it last night when I was watching something on Bounce. How come certain channels my TV gets really pixely?
Sucks.
Well, there's certain channels that use a really, like, if they're those terrible cable channels or those local channels that are like on 4.3 and 4.4, that they're just using a really crappy compression to save bandwidth. So they don't, because cable can only put so much through your wire. So they take some channels and they compress the hell out of them, so they can save bandwidth for the better shows and sports and things.
Okay, so this was on Bounce, so I guess that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, Bounce is definitely they're just like one of those side channels, so they're really bad compression. Yeah,
like My TV.
Right, or Me TV, or Heroes and Icons, any of those fucking channels.
Court TV.
They're not the real channels. All right, that's it for the show. We'll be back next week with more.
Whoa!
So long, and thanks for all the fish. Good night.
Peace.
Peace. That's about right.